Right. Welcome back, man.
Hey, how you doing, man? Long time no see, right?
I'm doing. Listen, I know that we normally don't do this being a Tuesday show, but I want to discuss something that happened over the weekend.
What you got?
Well, I don't know if you heard this or not, but two things happened that kind of made me go, and that would be Biden has basically forgiven or made peace with the Saudi prince who was responsible for killing and chopping up that journalist.
No.
Yes.
I didn't hear that.
Yes.
I don't think that was a good idea to do that.
Yeah, me either. I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, if he thinks that it's going to help us with oil trade or something, that it's not worth it.
Yeah, but what are we going to do? Arrest him? You know, so there's no sense publicly saying, yeah, man, it's all right. It's fine. No, that's not cool.
Well, what purpose would he have for doing that?
You know, I guess I agree with you. It has something to do with, you know, oil, money, whatever. You know, but that's not, we shouldn't condone that shit at all. You know, I'd rather he just didn't say anything about it than say that.
Here's your headlines from 4 different sources. Cotton sides with Biden on granting immunity to Saudi crown prince. Fox News. Politico. Senators back Biden administration on Saudi lawsuit immunity. The Hill. Cotton backs Biden on shielding Saudi leader from Khashoggi lawsuit. CNN. U.S. determines Saudi crown prince is immune in case brought by Jamal Khashoggi.
Or are they claiming diplomatic immunity?
They can't. I don't see how they can.
It wasn't done in the U.S. It was done in England or somewhere like that. Somewhere in Europe, I thought.
It was done in, I believe it was done in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, no, then I thought it was outside of, I thought they had sent like a hit squad or whatever after him. And they got him outside the country. But either way, because they beheaded him. You know,
they chopped him up in pieces.
Whatever, it's bullshit. There needs to be retaliation for that.
What it says is what the administration decided this week.
To report things. Their reporters don't. That's not my concern.
What it says here, and this is a Fox News host, Shannon Bean.
Whatever, yeah.
Who said what the administration decided this week in granting sovereign immunity to Mohammed bin Salman,
whatever, yeah,
is in keeping with the practice of custom of lawsuits involving foreign heads of state. It would have been a break of those customs to not grant that kind of immunity. Yeah, let me see. Been put saying that the murder of Khashoggi, who was killed in Saudi Arabia's embassy in Istanbul, Turkey.
Been there.
Yeah. In 2018, can't just be forgotten. Senator Cotton argued that the major consideration was not whether a country violated human rights, but whether the country's leaders supported the United States and assisted the U.S. internationally. So now, from what I'm getting from this, he says the way I look at it is what matters most about governments around the world is less whether they are democratic or not democratic, and more whether they are pro-American or anti-American. And the simple fact is Saudi Arabia has been an American partner going back 80 years. That doesn't mean we overlook or excuse countries that are pro-American, and we can even help midwife or nurture them into democratic countries like former President Reagan succeeded in doing in South Korea and the Philippines. So later on the same show, Warner largely agreed with Cotton on both points. The reason why there is a giant sovereign immunity, there's a grant of sovereign immunity even to leaders we don't like, is as much to protect American leaders and American diplomats when they are posted from being subject to Saudi Arabian law or Russian law or South African law, he said. And it goes on and on. It basically says President Joe Biden has in the past called Khashoggi's death a flat-out murder. And the State Department on Thursday noted that it was not making a judgment on the merits of the lawsuit, but it was purely a legal determination. So, because they're a friend of the United States, they get a pass?
No, they were able to fly in 9/11 as well. You know, able to leave the country, and they shouldn't have been. Only military was flying then. But yeah, they got a pass then as well. They shouldn't have been. No, I don't think we should have condoned.
Wasn't Khashoggi? Wasn't Khashoggi an American citizen?
I want to say that he was.
He was an American. He was living in America. He got his citizenship, and he was a journalist.
Right.
And they basically executed you. And the government said, "Yeah, we don't care." And the government said, "Yeah, we don't care."
Yeah. I'm not powerful enough. That'd be easy. You know?
But doesn't that send a message to the rest of the journalists that even though we're friends with Saudi Arabia, when you go there, you have to do exactly, you have to feed their propaganda machine or you're going to disappear.
Cool.
And to me, that just means that less people are going to go over it. Or less people would want to go over it. Or the information we get from them will be bullshit.
I have no desire to go over. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that country. Well, still,
I'm talking about journalists.
Still, it's so easy to break a law there and be stuck or lose a hand or something. Yeah, I'm good. I'm all good with that.
Well, the second thing I'd like to cover today is Elon Musk's massive failure.
Which one?
Twitter.
He's blowing that up. And he reinstated Trump.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about.
What the frig did he do that for? It's like, yeah, let's just put gasoline on a friggin' fire.
Okay. He was banned for life from Twitter. You know that? And then Elon Musk took over and said, yeah, we're not going to do that. And I'll tell you why I think he did it, which might be reasonable.
There's no reason. Look, he incited Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish.
What's your story?
There is a thing where candidates are supposed to have equal time on equal platforms. And it's possible that he was thinking, well, now that he put his hat in the ring, because he didn't do it until Trump announced that he was running for president again. Now that he put his hat in the ring, we should put him on so that he can have the same voice as his opponents. And now I'm sure that he knows that if Trump abuses it again, I'm sure there was the caveat that he'd be removed. But
that's the thing. You said, I'm sure, we don't know. So is he just going to spout the same old bullshit that he spouts every time he gets on a platform?
This is my speculation because I can't be sure. No one can be sure what Elon Musk is thinking at any one given moment in time.
No, but his Truth Social ought to be Live Social. There's nothing truthful about that platform.
Speaking about Truth Social, Trump has a contract commitment to them. So I don't know if he can actually tweet on Twitter. But
interesting.
That's
interesting.
The caveat is he has a lot of Trump supporters who are also on Truth Social that can take his truths, so to speak, and tweet them on Twitter. Retweet them on Twitter, and it'll still go, viral.
I'm worried about that. he not seeing him on Twitter was a double-edged sword for me. One, I wasn't able to really see the sludge that was in his head, but two, I was really glad that he wasn't able to. It was a huge kneecap to him on getting his message out to people. Even on J6, they were using that as a way to communicate. So yeah, I really don't mind him being off those social platforms.
Now, Elon said in a memo to his workers, you have to agree in contract to work harder.
So a lot resigned.
And then he immediately said, but I'm going to step away and let somebody else run things. So I'm not going to work as hard as I was, but you guys have to work doubly as hard.
He's saying he's not going to work at all. He's stepping away. So how can you,
Yeah, I just don't.
Twitter is going by way of the dodo.
I have a feeling that within the next year, another social platform is going to spring up, and Twitter is going to go by the way of MySpace. It'll be there. No one will really pay attention to it.
Facebook's dying too, which is a bummer because Facebook could have been something if they left Meta out of it, and they continued to keep it an honest place. You know, they should have kneecapped the lies hitting Facebook, and they didn't.
Well,
and they fucked us in 2016.
Speaking of Facebook, have you heard their new policy? Starting
Not really.
in December,
I only
they are
post.
going to be taking out of your profile, the about section. They're going to take out any reference to political parties. If you like a certain political party, if you like a certain religion or any religious references, and I believe it's sexual preferences, they're going to take out of your profile.
Wow.
So that no one can be offended.
Well, no, that appeases. You see, it's funny. The political correctness really started because they got butthurt when they would say something just disgusting.
Right,
so
but
they call it cancel culture because they are the ones that deserve to be canceled.
But now that they pushed it, they can no longer say in their profile that they're Christians or Catholics or Protestants. You can't say I love the Lord. It's gone. Not in your profile.
In your profile.
Yep.
Well, maybe that's a good thing then, because there's shit in people's profiles I wish I wasn't able to see. Maybe that'll, Well, actually, in a way, I take that back because there are some people that, in the time of Trump, I noticed some people's profiles that, people I knew, changed, and I found out that they were racist as hell. I mean, like had, just white power stuff everywhere. Forget it, all of it, whatever you can imagine, swastikas and the whole 9 yards. So that was always a quick bye-bye. There's really not much. I don't really care if you're a good person. You're no longer a good person when that becomes your banner of your profile.
Right. Right. Like if your your banner picture is the Confederate flag
or a swastika. Yeah. It's kind of funny. How come that our party doesn't have that? We don't have openly white supremacist people in our party. We really don't.
Because people...
We might have a few here and there, but I'm saying our party doesn't have Q. Our party doesn't have, neo-Nazis in it. It doesn't have, on and on. Well,
because people refuse to acknowledge that the parties have switched sides.
Yeah. Quite dramatically.
Yes, it's true. 50, 60, 70 years ago, the Democratic Party was the
we were pro-slavery
racist party.
Mm-hmm. We were pro-slavery. We were the Southern party of choice.
Um, we did have, it did have connections to the KKK,
Yes, we did.
but as time went on, like most people, the Democratic Party matured and said, "This is not who we want to be anymore. This is not who we really are."
That
And the
explains a lot.
Republican Party said, "Well, if you're going to abandon that, give it to us. We want it." And so now they're the party of racism. They're the party of bigotry and hatred. And the Democratic Party is the party that's trying, albeit very minusculely, to bring unity rather than separation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're just causing we're going to have a civil war, but I have a feeling it's going to be within the Republican Party.
People, even Republicans are going, no. See, you can't say nothing to us because you guys used to have the KKK in your thing. And it's like,
yeah, but there's a lot of infighting right now. I'm seeing
yeah, but that was also before women were allowed to vote and black people were still 3/4 of a person.
Yeah, right. Or something like that. Yeah.
2/3.
Whatever. Bullshit. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, back then we were idiots. We got educated real quick.
We did.
And it seems like the Republicans, instead of coming out of the swamp, growing legs, and walking on land, they decided to crawl back in and say, "Now we're going to stay here for a while."
Right.
We don't like all those flying fish and, yeah. So now that it's switched, though, they can't see that it's switched. So they're still trying to put their core persona, and they're trying to project it onto us and say, "Well, this is you guys. You're racist. You're bigots. You want to cancel culture, everything." And in the meantime, it's all them. They're doing exactly what it's like. The husband who's cheating on his wife, and so he comes home every day and accuses her of cheating.
Right.
To take the heat off of him.
Right. Sure. I can see that. I understand what you're saying.
Exactly what the Republican Party's doing.
Yeah.
Well,
that's another thing they want too. They don't see why they should be able to go out and bang who they want to as a man. How dare you say I can't? You better damn sure have dinner on the table when I get home too.
Right.
They really want that type of lifestyle. And no.
And that we did something wrong as a party when Fox News agrees with what President Biden did with the Saudi prince.
Yeah, that's pretty scary too, because that's yeah.
Now, I understand that Twitter is also under a multi-million-dollar lawsuit that they were in before Elon bought it, and now he's responsible for it.
Sure. Yes. And if it's an attack against the company,
yes,
then I would, and policies and things like that, I think that it does kind of fall onto the company. Now, if it falls onto a specific person when all's said and done, then I don't think selling the company would matter under that regard. I think if they can prove that it was a person and not an entity, then it would fall back onto the actual person who made those decisions. In my opinion. Probably won't work that way, but what the fuck was Musk thinking if he bought a company that was in the middle of litigation from whatever?
Well, you'd
want to buy a clean company.
We have here, as of 10 hours ago, Twitter is being sued by its own employees for mass layoffs. Twitter lawsuit.
But that's current, though, right? That's because of
Twitter lawsuit keeps rising in San Francisco with 2 new class action complaints. There's an wait a minute.
These all seem like new things, like it's because of Musk.
There's an old. I'm looking for. I'm looking for an older lawsuit. These are all dated like November 4th, but I know that there's an older one.
I don't know how that works. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I can only speculate.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is that.
I mean, I think it would be just nonsense to buy a company that is in litigation if I am the one that's going to be held responsible if it fails, not without knowing more information. You know.
I know that. Okay.
You know, I mean, if they told Elon, hey, here's our evidence, you know, this is why we think we're good. If he's willing to accept it with that evidence, then that's on him. But beyond that, I don't have much speculation on that.
Okay. It says here in October, a Delaware judge on Thursday ordered to halt the Twitter Inc. lawsuit against Elon Musk. Okay, so they were suing Musk. Okay, that's interesting. So that he could buy the company.
Yeah. He should have settled. That's what he should have done. Give him a couple of $1 billion to settled.
Well, now they're looking. They're also looking at. They're also looking at class action lawsuit. For all the layoffs. 2 actually, with several lawyers bringing litigation against them.
There's a really good chance, unless they set it up when he bought the company, he can fire a lot of them if he wants.
I don't think he can. I don't think
he can call it restructuring. He can call it whatever he wants, man. It's his business.
I think that a lot of them were under contract. They are contract workers, and I don't think that
those contracts can be dissolved.
Right, but I think that there has to be a certain time of notice for them for those contracts. They can't immediately be locked out.
I don't know. I'd want to know what's in those contracts under the conditions of sale. I bet you that's addressed in those contracts. And who would have ever thought anybody would buy out Twitter? You know, I mean, it's a fat company if you think about it. $44 billion is what he spent on it.
It was a fat company, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been on a diet since Elon took over.
True. Let me just check something real quick because I know. I know that he bought it for $55 a share.
Oh,
it's gone down to no. It's gone down $2 a share since his takeover. It was in July of this year down to $32 a share. So I'm guessing he finalized the purchase in October. It went up to 52, dropped to 49, and now it's up to 53.70.
So he's not losing money. Not
he
that
bought it
way.
at 55.
Yeah. But I bet if people are smart, they're going to start dumping their stock. You know, I bet you a lot of people pulled out.
Right, I agree with you. Yeah, he bought it at $54.20 a share. So it's not even up to what he bought it for yet. So the stock, if he were to sell it all, he still wouldn't make what he paid for it.
No.
And I can almost guarantee that with this, once this lawsuit goes through, the stock's going to drop even more.
Oh,
and the value.
At one point, I bet it's going to just plummet.
I
He's
wouldn't
going
be
to tank the
surprised.
company.
I wouldn't be surprised if it went down to that $35 a share thing that it was in July.
I wouldn't be surprised that if someday in the near future it comes off the stock market altogether.
You think so? To make it private again?
There won't be a company anymore. You know, he'll just destroy the company. He won't. You know,
Right.
he's too proud. He'll say, fuck it. Or he'll find someone else to buy it. But
I don't think anybody's that stupid. You know,
You never
it's
know.
It's like trying to board a sinking ship.
you never know. Not with Elon.
See, and this is why we titled this video, When Leaders Get It Wrong. He had a gold mine in his
did.
hands, and he turned it into coal.
He should have left it on autopilot.
Biden, I don't care if you're my friend or not. You kill an American citizen, you pay the price.
Yeah.
They
Agreed.
We need smarter people in this country. That's what we
Yeah.
need.
And
You know?
I am still hoping that he doesn't run.
I don't think he
Somebody
will.
else.
Oh no, he said he had planned on it,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping that he loses the primary.
He might pull it, man. He might just pull it. But we'll see. That's another conversation.
This is true. Well, Matt, thanks for another invigorating conversation.
You too, man.
It's been interesting. I don't know how I come up with all these interesting topics, but I'm a genius.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right, brother. I will see you later.